Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest.
Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla, the state's maximum security facility. Nearly 2,000 prisoners are crowded together here. They've been convicted of crimes such as burglary, assault, rape, and murder.
Placing the palms on the floor, right leg back behind you.
Within the prison walls, a handful of inmates are seeking the way of nonviolence, the way of hatha yoga. By practicing the stretches, postures, and meditation techniques of yoga, these prisoners are finding relief from their harsh and crowded surroundings. They are learning to pause and to look within themselves.
Adding a stretch forward, inhale and lift the body.
Established in 1988, the prison's yoga program was initiated by the inmates themselves. The movement was led by Bill Maher.
The administration says there's a lot of things you can't do. But if you give us a group of things that are positive, we'll look at it. So I've been doing yoga a long time. And so the only thing I could think of that was positive for myself and other people was yoga. So it took me about 4 or 5 years to put it together because it kept saying no, no, no.
My first response was that it was probably some kind of a religion with all kinds of strange and unusual practices, and my gut reaction said, no, we wouldn't have something like that here. A typical response from prison administrators is to be very leery of those kinds of requests for obvious reasons. But you can't always close your mind. Sometimes you have to be open to new ideas and try new things. And so this was one of those circumstances. We didn't have a lot of precedent to look at. There's not a lot of institutions that we were aware of. So in our estimation, we had no precedent or models to look at. So we were kind of developing this on our own.
And that's how it started, you know, is for myself. I got greedy because I wanted to do it. And in the meantime, I kind of opened it up for everybody else.
Remember, the spine continues up through the back of the neck. So uncurl the neck and lengthen the spine.
Yoga and aerobics instructor Sandy Witcher comes to the prison several times a week to teach the classes.
The class is probably not a traditional yoga class. When I came in and saw the atmosphere around the penitentiary, I felt that they needed more stress release, flexibility type things. Most of the guys here do weight training, weightlifting of some sort, and they're very bulky and not very flexible. And I know that yoga has a great deal to do with flexibility, increasing flexibility and range of motion. The stress in this institution is very high. The guys are confined in their cells quite a bit of time, so they don't have much release for stress physically, mentally, or spiritually. And I decided to concentrate on the stress reduction side of the class, make it calming in effect, teach them how to handle their stress, both physically and mentally.
Well, I like the class because it's relaxing. It helped me relieve a lot of stress and tension. You know, that's one of the ways for me to deal with this time that I have to do.
You're doing about, what, 19, 20 hours a day in your cell? So a lot of time. If you don't understand how to do a lot of in your cell, this is one way to learn how to mellow out, be patient, and kind of experience yourself and experience the day. You have no other choice. So you gotta relax, learn about yourself while you're doing your time.
Some people have mentioned that yoga, they think of it as somewhat of a religion like Buddha or something like that. And as far as this class, it has nothing to do with religion. And it's basically just to come here and relieve stress. It differs that you could come into a class and it's quiet. The other classes, like the typing class, there's constant things going on. Besides the middle of the night, it's hard to find a quiet place.
I've been able to be a little bit more patient with people and see myself a little bit clearer than I have in the past.
Shoulder up and lift your head.
Along with other benefits, some of Sandy's yoga students have found a channel for their own self-expression through art.
These are mine here, the top 4. And my artwork before was rough. It didn't just flow like art was supposed to flow. I can do it now. I can just sit down and draw, and it comes right out. And it's just, you know, because I can play,
put my mind to it, you know, just from concentrating and relaxing.
Some of these talents, maybe they knew they were there, but hadn't taken the time to develop them. They have the time right now. You know, many of the inmates have told me if they had had yoga 10 years ago, maybe they wouldn't be here now. Maybe 10 years ago they weren't willing to accept yoga into their life. But right now they're able to look inside, and when you look inside in yoga, you can see some of the good about yourself, perhaps some ideas, intuitive things that are within you that you can learn to develop and progress and show. Balance settles a restless spirit. They spread the word of the class themselves. Usually once they come back. It's a class that they're pretty regular in their attendance. The class is offered 3 times a week over here in maximum security. Usually the inmates will sign up for once a week. After they've done 1 class, they want to come to all 3. In my outside classes, I do some physical touching and adjusting of the students in different postures. That was difficult at first. It's a little bit easier now. I think I do touch a little bit more than I did when the class first started. I had to find out myself how I felt about it, and also feel out the inmates how they would react to, first of all, me being a female, and then showing them postures, doing postures with them, and adjusting them in postures. Let's rub your hands together and create a heat. They're very respectful to me when they're in here. They're here because they want to learn yoga. If they're here for another reason, they don't stay. But they always come back. They enjoy it. I know I can't save anybody, but I thought I could help in some way those that were willing and wanting to be helped. And that's what feels good to me. Namaste.
If you have a topic for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, South 3911 Regal, Spokane, Washington 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS TV.